What is up, everybody? Renfail here. We're back again with some more No Man's Sky with the Worlds Part 1 update as I continue to learn this game as a new player. And today we're going to be diving into the new player experience, which I think for this game is one of the best I've played. I do give them credit for the fact that the game is like 8 years old at this point and they've had a lot of time to figure out what is a good tutorial. For me, I felt like the onboarding process was very well done and is still ongoing. I think I'm like 10 or 12 hours into the game so far, and I'm still learning things as we go along, which is pretty impressive because most games, usually within the first couple 3 hours, they've kind of taught you everything you need to know about the game. But No Man's Sky is deep enough that I'm continually learning new things, new recipes, new ways of doing things, and I know that there's more because the people in the streams have been loading me with information about all this stuff that's coming in the pipeline. But before I get into that, I am new to the game. I just started playing like a week ago, more or less, and I started playing on the PC, switched over to the Xbox once the Worlds Update .1 went live, and I'm here now on my starter planet, and I'm going to go ahead and move this screen over here. I'm going to sit down, get comfortable, and we're going to talk about the new player experience for this game, which I think is, like I said, very well done. So if you are like me and you've gotten through the starter hours of the game and you're off exploring and you're on other planets and you're following the main quest line, at some point you may decide that you want to take a break from the quests and you want to go back and build stuff and expand your base and do something else. Or you might be 3 or 4 hours into the game and forget how something was supposed to be done that they told you about maybe when you played 3 sessions ago or something. The game has one of the best, in my opinion, catalogs and guide systems that I've seen for onboarding new players. So if you forget something, or if you just want a refresher, or maybe you haven't played the game in a little while, you're coming back to it and you're wanting to go, hey, what is the new player experience like so I can get up to speed with all the things that have changed? So you can basically, I'm on the Xbox, but you can open up this that's the wrong one. Open up your catalog and guide or your discoveries tab. This will give you information about the planet you're on. The log will give you information about all the quests that you're on. But what you're really looking for is the catalog and guide section. There's a bunch of information here on the materials and items, technology, building parts, collected knowledge. And you can click on all of these and look at your known recipes, and things that you've learned along the way, cooking recipes, if you have any, which I don't have a lot of, but you can also look at the materials and items that you've uncovered, and here are the things that you've seen. But really what you're looking for is this guide section. And what it has is a whole bunch of categories that you can go through. And these are things that the game will teach you during the tutorial process as you're playing the game from the very beginning. And once you have learned about something for the first time, you can then come back to the categories section here in the guide and read through it again and get detailed basics on all the things. Now, it's broken down into sections for the larger things. So you'll notice for like survival basics, we've got 5 sections. Getting around has 5 sections. Making discoveries has 3 sections. Upgrades and crafting has 4. Construction has 3. Making money has 3. Alien life forms, combat. These are all these things that it teaches you, and it adds things to the guide as you uncover them in the game. So it's not like you could just, get overwhelmed at the very beginning. It's very much a gradual process, and then as you uncover new things, it's like, okay, now we're going to put that in the guide for you, and you can come back and look at that at some point in time. So like, let's go ahead and look at the survival basics and say, I forgot how to do something. It takes you all the way from the beginning. You can say, how do I get started? So it's like, well, first and foremost, you have hazard protection for your suit. That's going to be very important if you're going to be spending any time away from the ship, because the moment you step out of your ship, unless you're on a paradise world, your exosuit is going to start taking damage from whether it's toxins or radiation or heat or cold. And so your hazard protection for your suit is important, and you're going to need to carry sodium or ion batteries to to fix your suit from time to time. You're also going to need to plan to find shelter in caves or structures when there are storms. And you're going to need to pay attention to hazards, which can be worse at nighttime. You can use the scanner to locate survival resources. You could also use your analysis visor to identify points of interest from afar. And you're like, well, what's an analysis visor, you know? And you can go through here and say, okay, use your analysis visor to look around buildings and supply caches. Sorry. These locations are rich in resources and information. So all of this stuff is keyed towards helping you and me, the new players, get up to speed with everything. So they've told it to you in the tutorial. They've given you a hands-on thing. You've played the game for 3 or 4 hours, but some of these things are things that you might not necessarily know unless you do it lots and, you might not necessarily remember, I should say, unless it's something repetitive. So here's a good example of this. Nearby creatures are marked with a red paw if they are predators and may be dangerous. You can identify them from afar with LT. Now, I almost never, to this point that I've been playing the game, I've almost never come across hostile creatures. I have in a couple of instances. And so this to me is great information to know because they probably told me this at some point and I forgot. And so knowing that there's a red paw to mark predators as a dangerous animal is something that's very refreshing for me because it helps me understand. Okay, that's what I need to pay attention to. But then we can go in here and learn more about hazard protection if we want to. And how do I get the sodium and iron batteries? And it tells you how to do that. You can get sodium from harvesting flora in the world. You can get ion batteries from crafting from cobalt and ferrite. By the way, I've found plenty of ferrite, but I've yet to find any cobalt yet. Hazard systems can be recharged by using the quick menu. This is great information. It also tells me more about life support. I can go in here and learn more about the multi-tool that I use. And then I can go, okay, how do I, what do I need to, maybe I need a refresher on my starship. So I can go in here and say, hey, here's this breakdown on how to fly your starship and all the different things you need to do to fly your starship. This is huge. And then I think the end of last session, I got attacked by a pirate, and I had to do space combat for the very first time. However, that space combat encounter was extremely brief. It was in the middle of a stream, and it happened really fast and was over. So I definitely did not get enough out of my first experience with combat to say that I understand the combat system in this game, space combat system in this game. So I definitely, personally, this is me, speaking personally here, I need a refresher on space combat. So to be able to come in here and go, okay, so fire ship weapons is with A, not with the right trigger. I could cycle weapons with Y, that's familiar from other games. If attacked by pirates, answer them on the communicator. I didn't know that. That may have popped up on screen when I was playing, but all I know is I started getting shot at, and it told me how to do like an auto target, and I just shot him out of the sky. Said pirates can be communicated with and can be bribed to leave you alone. You can also use a defense chit to summon the system authorities to aid in combat. I've not seen anything about a defense chit yet, so haven't learned that yet. That's cool. You can purchase defense chits from merchants on space stations. This part they did teach. I do remember this part of the tutorial when it popped up on screen. Stay behind your target to deal more damage and avoid enemy fire. Manage your speed with boost or brake to stay behind your target. You turn much more quickly while braking, and your shields recharge over time. Change your current target with left and right on the D-pad. Aim at the target, leading reticle for increased accuracy, or you can use Starship Combat Auto Follow, available from the options menu, will enable the ship to automatically lock on and chase targets. I have that turned on because I absolutely suck at the controls of certain games, and I'm not a huge fan of how the flight system works on the Xbox. Like, I can't remap keys and stuff. So using the Starship Combat Auto Follow feature the other day when I got hit by the pirate was extremely valuable, and that to me is something where I go, okay, how did I do that? How do I refresh my set? It says find it in the options menu. So I could then go over the options menu and go, okay, where would that be? Would that be in camera perhaps? Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Starship Combat auto follow enabled hold, enabled toggle, or disabled. It's on hold by default, so I remember holding the LT button. You could also have it auto toggle. You can automatically lock on and chase your target. I'm gonna use toggle. Pressing X once will set your ship to follow your combat target. Pressing a second time will disable following. We might continue to use the hold for now. Because the toggle, I'll forget the X button, because the X button is used for so many other things. But that's kind of what I want to talk about today, everybody, is I feel like the new user experience for this game is one of the best I've seen in terms of just the onboarding, especially when I look at like other crafting survival games that I've played recently, like take Enshrouded and V Rising and Once Human. These are all like early access titles that I've played, which have some form of a tutorial, but they're extremely basic compared to this, which is an 8-year-old title that's had a lot of time to do things differently and polish things. And I think that's one of the things that, for me personally, I'm appreciating so much about No Man's Sky as someone who's coming in 8 years after the fact, is like with the World's Part 1 update, I can see that they're putting continued love into their game, taking the tech from their new title, Light No Fire, and putting it into this game to make it easy for veteran players, but also really easy for people like me who are completely new to this game to jump in and say, oh, here's how all this works, here's the new tech you're doing, here's how I play the game, and here's a whole bunch of refreshers with the tutorial system for the new user experience. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. It's a great time to get into the game. If you haven't already done so, I'm not sponsored by them anyway. I'm just genuinely having a good time recently. So if you like crafting survival games and like chill, cozy exploration games, at the very least, tune in. Daily streams happen here and on Twitch at 11 a.m. Central Time. I play a lot of other games, so make sure to check those out. I'm also doing a Let's Play series for this game where the streams are broken up into 30-minute segments and guides and other things as I continue to learn my way through No Man's Sky throughout July and August of 2024. So hopefully we'll see you there. Until next time, everybody, stay safe. Don't forget the Discord, Patreon, and all the socials. Happy gaming.